Tonight, for some, spending money you don't have has never been easier.
Buy now, pay later loans have been on the rise in recent years, allowing shoppers to buy something online and pay in installments over a few weeks or months.
Companies like Apple and Amazon are the latest to join the trend, but as Lenita Brooks reports, consumer experts warn you to beware of the hidden risk.
This just has the features that we need.
When you're shopping online for clothes, gifts, or even flights, you may see a new payment option like Affirm, Afterpay, or Klarna, offering you the ability to split your payments into 4 installments.
But experts say there are a few things you should be aware of before you click.
It's a great tool. The problem is it's overused by far.
Buy now, pay later. How does that work?
The appeal of Buy Now, Pay Later program seems obvious. Get your purchase now with no interest and no fees and pay the loan back over a period of time.
The creditors want to make it as easy for you as possible because they want you to spend your money.
But those easy purchases can add up fast. Jim Frago, a consumer's expert, says what you don't realize is you are borrowing from your future self without knowing what financial state you'll be in when those payments are due.
You're borrowing from the person you're going to be in 6 months or 3 years or 5 years, and that accumulates over time. Most of us are very optimistic about our lot in life that we're going to be better a year from now or 5 years from now than we are right now. But that's not the case with everybody.
It's like layaway, but in reverse. A Consumer Reports survey found that 28% of Americans have paid for clothing, electronics, appliances, or other goods using Buy Now, Pay Later loans. That same percentage of people reported having at least one problem, including being overcharged on a purchase and having difficulties returning products or getting refunds. We sat down with Joshua Sawyer, a financial expert from United Financial, on the growing trend.
What are some of the potential risks in using a third party like Affirm or Afterpay to make a purchase?
Anybody has a risk of having issues when you've got multiple parties involved with a purchase.
Risk like difficulty getting your money back when you run into problems with the merchant.
So they're still going to expect payment and could potentially have late payments, other fees assessed, and cause a whirlwind of phone calls and headaches having to deal with who you bought it from and who you're having to pay for it to try to get that ironed out.
Back at Frago and Associates, Jim Frago says focusing too much on the payment can also be a downfall.
Problem is they look at what is my payment going to be? Not what's my interest rate, not what are the fees, not how long am I going to pay, but can I afford the payment on that loan, whether it's a car or something else. And they feel if I can afford the payment, then it's all good.
Because they're not watching that money leave their hand.
If people had to whip out their wallet and pay cash for something, they would spend an awful lot less.
I think you have to spend $35, so I'll just keep adding.
If you found yourself overusing these agencies, there are ways to get caught up. A spokesperson for FTA, which represents companies including PayPal, Afterpay, Klarna, and Zip, said in a statement, Buy Now, Pay Later companies work with consumers who miss a payment to get back on track. So, how do you avoid getting to that point?
Try not to borrow more than you can pay off every month.
If properly managed, they're probably fine. Again, having one out there at a time, if you're not paying any interest and you're making your payments and you're disciplined to stick to that, probably fine. It's the impulse spending and oh, I got one, that one's not quite done, it's almost done, let me get another one. That's where you'll fall into the trap.
For WNEM TV5, I'm Lenita Brooks.